The day-to-day requirements of being an investigator is hard to sum up in just a few short sentences. Every day is completely different to the last. Some days you'll be sitting at your desk the whole time, catching up on paperwork, writing reports or filling out warrants, anything like that. Other days you're out in the action, processing crime scenes, talking to victims, researching suspects. So the first thing we do as a criminal investigator is we go through reports that have been submitted by patrol police that are seen as actually needing investigation. Of course, not all reports need investigation. Things like fines or speeding tickets, they don't need, actual investigating into them. There's usually cold hard evidence that just proves that you are guilty. So what we're going to do when we get a case that needs investigating is we gather the evidence by talking to victims, by talking to bystanders, by processing the crime scene, taking photos, just talking to really anyone we can to get more information on our case so that we can help find a suspect. If there's already a suspect that, has pretty much just been found and like theft or something like that, it's usually pretty straightforward that they have done it if there's video. So we just bring them in, we ask them to come in, or we create an arrest warrant for them and bring them into the station, question them, get their side of the story, and then it goes on from there. Criminal proceedings, that is. If there isn't a straightforward suspect, we'll have to write a suspect list and just research them, get all their back information on it, just anything we can find about them. Then we'll get a warrant to arrest them or to get a search warrant to actually search their property. And at any given time, we'll be doing this for not just one case, but multiple cases, which is obviously very tiring, but it's just really nice to know that you are helping the community and you're help keeping everyone safe.
In order to become a criminal investigator, there are a number of skills, qualifications, and experiences required. A criminal investigator's role is to work in tandem with uniformed officers in order to solve crimes. This may include things such as filing warrants, working through crime scenes, communicating with victims and their families, or interrogating suspects. Some of the skills needed are basic social skills such as communication and empathy. As a criminal investigator, you may be required to speak to victims and their families in distressing periods of their lives. It is important that you conduct yourself accordingly. Initiative. As a criminal investigator, you will often find yourself in situations where the only way to solve a case is entirely up to you. Self-control. In emotionally distressing situations, it is absolutely necessary for you as a criminal investigator to control yourself. Physical fitness. A certain degree of physical fitness is needed in order to become a criminal investigator. It is the same as what a patrol officer needs. Some of the qualifications needed are a driver's license, a certificate of policing, your VCE if you are under the age of 21, a minimum 3 years of patrol experience, and an advanced diploma of policing. Now, if you obtain a degree prior to going into the police force, this does not guarantee you a career as a criminal investigator straight away. You still need to do the 3 years minimum of patrol experience. However, it makes it easier to move through the ranks and grants you more knowledge in the area that you choose to work in. The main experience you need in order to become a criminal investigator is a minimum of 3 years as a uniform officer.
There are a few ways to become an investigator. If you choose to apply through the Vic Police Force and work your way through the ranks, you are required to start the application process online and meet the eligibility criteria. They recommend you consider if you will pass before applying. The eligibility criteria includes having good character and reputation, Australian citizenship, a driver's license, first aid experience, and also pass the medical assessment and fitness test. If you're applying under the age of 21, you must have completed your VCE. However, if you're over the age of 21, it does not require you to have completed VCE. In an online form, you must detail your personal and education history and any history of prior offences, traffic-related matters, or police dealings. You may also decide to complete a degree and then apply to work with the police force. Once accepted through the application process, you'll begin training at the police academy.
I got a feeling.
I've been working as a criminal investigator for law enforcement for quite some time now, and I found that being a criminal investigator is one of the most rewarding careers. There are a lot of different areas of specialties that can be explored, and finding your niche isn't hard at all. The assignments have been challenging and fulfilling, and the people I've had the pleasure to encounter were enlightening, and I found it quite enjoyable. As an investigator, I'm responsible with the management of my investigations. For me, it's important that I cultivate a good relationship and communicate with my partners and work as a team. I make sure that evidence and information collected during the investigation is secure, confidential, and analysed correctly by the rule of criminal procedure. And I also often follow up cold cases, hoping for new information that will lead me to a suspect, working long hours if necessary for any developments of the case.
There are many benefits choosing a career as a criminal investigator. Many different types of organizations hire criminal investigators with salaries averaging between $60,000 to $100,000 per year. If you choose to work your way through the ranks with the police force, your salary will start at $52,000, over time increasing as one progresses through the ranks. On top of good salary prospects, long paid parental leave, superannuation and penalty rates, officers also have access to study leave and long service leave, which increase with each year working with the police force.
This is a Gantt chart representing the length of time it takes and the steps towards becoming an investigator. It can take as long as 80 months from the time of starting your degree, or 57 months depending on how you approach the task ahead. As you can see, a large chunk of the time will be spent on earning a degree that is involved with this pathway, such as criminology or law, where you may begin the application process to join the police academy before you finish your degree, so you can start the journey of becoming an investigator. The steps involve, again, earning the college degree, applying for police academy, and then graduating, where you may then earn the necessary experience involved as a police officer, which is another large portion of the timeline right there. And the last few steps involve applying for the investigator unit, completing a job interview, and then earning the position as an investigator, which is the end goal.